What's up, Collab Crew? I'm Andrea.
And I'm Ashley.
And we are empowering estheticians one conversation at a time.
And we're back this week with another very special guest, Marina Alleyne. She is the founder of Studio Rebloom here in Orlando, Florida, and also a Korean skincare specialist.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Thank you for being here, Marina.
Thank you guys for having me. This is great.
I'm really excited to learn more about Korean skincare.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm already like one of those girlies that, okay, so don't judge me, Estes, okay? I be on TikTok looking at the Korean skincare because I actually really like Korean
there's
skincare.
a lot.
There's a lot of good ones too. So I'm super excited to learn all about it. Marina, teach us what we need to learn.
Yes.
We should also organize a day where you come to my spa.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. And let's just do a whole SD spa day.
Yeah. And we can film, so content.
Yeah.
Everything is content.
Everything is content.
We could do like a vlog, like a video vlog for Studio Rebloom on our Korean skincare experiences.
Yes, that would be. Okay, Ashley. Okay,
yes. All right. That's our next event.
Yes. All right, so let's get into it. Tell us about your background and what first drew you into aesthetics and then leading into the world of Korean skincare.
So I'm actually kind of stumbled into skincare. I was never the girly girl. I had one facial before I came into this industry. I don't do my nails. I do my hair now. But I was more kind of like at home kind of thing. Did everything by myself. I come from art. I am a trained accessory designer. And when I moved here to Florida for the first time, a front desk was needed at a spa that a family friend owned. And that's how I started seeing the whole how a spa works and started learning about skincare. And really how I got into it first was permanent makeup. Permanent makeup is the connection between the art and the beauty industry. And when I started working as a front desk, that's when microblading came into the scene. And before microblading, permanent makeup was very, very not good looking, not natural looking. And then when microblading came in, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can do this. There was a lot of training, trainers from microblading. They were really famous back then, were from Serbia, where I'm from. So I went back, did training, started working in the spa where I was doing front desk. And over the years, the woman I worked for, she's Hungarian, been in the industry for a really long time. She knows a lot. So I was just kind of soaking it in, everything about skincare. And then I decided, okay, why am I not doing this too? Right. I'm already have a treatment room. I'm already with clients. I already love all of this. And I think what I really loved was the ingredients. Because I also bartended throughout my art studies in Italy. And, bartending is mixology.
Yeah.
You learn like the basic cocktails. But after that, you do your own thing, right?
Yeah.
And really, that's what skincare is too, right? You do know the protocols, but once you know the protocols, once you know the ingredients, you get the skin in front of you, and then you make your own cocktail, right?
Right. Yeah. And you're a home mixologist as an esthetician.
Yeah. Yes. So I think that's where also kind of clicked. Korean skincare in itself, again, coming back to mixology, a lot of Western brands have very strict protocols. And when I was younger and when we were learning, like they also kind of scared you into stepping out of the protocol, right? You don't know how this product is going to react with this product or maybe this acid. Probably also because of the strength of the exfoliators, or like you were really not supposed to be creative. Korean skincare is completely different. Because it is milder. It is super effective, but the formulations are much milder than from Western skincare. And you are encouraged to mix and try different things. And after you know your client's skin, to do double things. Double exfoliation is very common because, again, everything is the formulations and the pH levels and the percentages of acids or other active ingredients are not as high, but it's the formulation that makes it be very effective.
Yeah.
So Korean skincare really it just clicked for me. It was very interesting, a lot of new ingredients. I found it in Facebook groups.
Me too.
Who else loves Facebook groups?
Me too. That's when I first heard about Korean skincare, kinesthetics. Like I'm in that Facebook group, and I was like, maybe I should transition over there. But girl, you know how it's a lot. But you know when you're like, I guess, used to your protocols and what you're already doing, and it works, so you don't really want to change anything.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Why would you?
I love the fact that there are other options other than just the traditional Western skincare.
For sure. Yeah. I wanted to change for a while, but I was working for somebody. So when I first found Korean skincare, I was working for Magda at Magda Skincare Clinic in Winter Park, and she was not receptive to it at all. So when I went on my own in 2018, that's when I kind of slowly started transitioning, playing with, introducing treatment by treatment. So it definitely took a while. And back then, honestly, there was no education. There was no official distributors. Yeah. It was just estheticians that had connections with people in Korea. They were like brokers. Mm-hmm. And then they would like import little by little, just like certain, like there was not like a whole brand. There was no reps. There was very little protocols. There was no brochures. Mm-hmm. I pretty much had to educate myself. Okay. Yes. Nice. Which is the gap that still kind of exists.
Right.
Much better now, but
it does. I feel like shout out to those companies out there that offer training for people once they purchase their products, because there are a lot of good ones out there that will back you up and support you. But there are some where you're like, okay, now what do I do now that I have the products? I do feel to play devil advocate here, that a lot of skincare companies are starting to offer that because they see that that's such a missed area or gray area. And
since COVID, everything is online, so it's much easier to do that too. Like you don't have to prepare a whole, class, or you do a lot online. Although most of us in this industry are technical learners.
Yes.
We want that hands-on, feel.
Yes.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, with Korean skincare, for me, it seemed so trendy when I first heard of it. And really, it wasn't until I started seeing it in professional Facebook groups that I was like, okay, maybe there is something to this. Because other professionals are starting to implement this. It's not just in social media trends,
So there is that big difference between, which is the same as here. Yeah. You have the over-the-counter products, and then you have the professional products. Mm-hmm. There is so much over-the-counter coming from Korea because they love their skincare. Yeah. They love their routines. It is a lot more part of their self-care. Is a lot more part of their lifestyle. Right. Mm-hmm. So there is a lot. There's a lot of also government and private sector gives a lot of money into that industry. So the amount of brands and the amount of products it is overwhelming.
It is.
For me, what it helped a lot is really separating. There is professional brands that you can't buy online, and then there is brands that you can get anywhere. I mean, even Marshalls or Ross. That doesn't mean that they're bad. It seems like how there is good stuff at Ulta and Sephora, but there's also bad stuff at Ulta and Sephora, right? Would I use something that is Ulta in Ulta and Sephora in my treatment room? No, I probably wouldn't. Right. So it's really kind of that difference. Right. And that's where I also want to differentiate, like what we're using is for professionals. It's a Korean skincare for professionals.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a lot of beginner background, I guess, about the Korean skincare and just learning more about it. I actually have one product that I've been using for years. I don't know if you've heard of the SQT biomicroneedling. I have that product, and that product is amazing. The one for anti-aging, that one is really, really, really good. So
I saw a post on your IG, the back peel.
Oh no, that's the green peel. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, that one's good too. But so there are some that I wouldn't mind dabbling in as long as it delivers results. Because I don't like to just do facials just to do it.
For sure. A nice blend and balance.
Yeah.
Spicules, which is the active ingredient in both of those, is one of the first treatments that kind of drew me in. It is so interesting and so different. Yeah. To be able to apply a peel without acids. The skin actually regenerates peels, and you're not using any acids. It's good for pregnancy. It's good for anybody that is really sensitive. There's different levels. I mean, I right now have like 6 or 7 different types of spicule peels.
Okay.
But I've tried maybe like 20. There is from like really mild that you can use at home to like really strong that will completely resurface your skin. And again, what's amazing about it is that it's a mixture between, they also call it bioneedles, because it's a mixture between a peel and microneedling. Because these tiny little spicules, which is right now, most of the spicules are coming from freshwater sea sponge.
Yes.
And it's a micronized tiny little needles. And when you massage them in, they go inside of the skin, and a majority of them disappears. Your body breaks it apart and takes all the minerals and vitamins that is in it. But a good percentage, your body's like, what is this?
And
it pushes it out. So it pushes out the pigmentation, it detoxifies the skin. It just does so much than just a chemical peel or just microneedling. So yeah, spicules are amazing.
Yeah, the best of both worlds.
Yes, yeah.
Nice. So you said you went out on your own as a solo esthetician in 2018. Is that when you opened up Studio Rebloom?
No, actually, I'm on my 3rd business name.
Okay.
The road
You love a rebrand.
The road has been a little rough. So in 2018, I just rented a spa, room in a spa. That was kind of like the easiest way, right? I don't have to worry about the licensing and everything. I just worry about my little room, because that was that first jump, right? Do I have the clients for this? Can I do this? I also had a non-compete, so I couldn't stay in Winter Park, even though majority of my clients hail from Winter Park, which is where I worked. So I was in College Park for a year. And then I moved to another spa and another spa. I started with as a Beauty Ink and Skin by Marina, which is a mouthful. And then in 2021 is when I actually took a lease. So rented a space. I had a couple of rooms and a little lobby. That's when I expanded my retail and actually started building it as a business. I mean, renting a room and doing facials, heck yeah, that's a business. And it takes all of your time also, like it's still a business. But I was trying to make it be more than me, right? So I had another room. I started maybe hiring or renting a room or hiring an esthetician. Well, I ended up renting a room, and that renter ended up being my partner. We opened up Bloom Aesthetic Studio. To see where we're going. And I was in that partnership for 3 years. We grew quite a bit. And then in September last year, we moved into the space where I'm at now, downtown Orlando, bigger than the one before, where we have really a lobby, a back room, a washer and dryer. If you're an esthetician.
A washer and dryer.
You know what that means.
Yes.
That is so essential.
It's so small, but such a huge perk.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember having to tote my bags home and bring them back, and I hated that.
And then if you're busy, it's a lot of laundry.
My mom used to help me fold. I'm like, Mom, can I please? And she would just drop it off. She would wash it and fold it for me. I'm like, thank you. Because you don't have time for
My
that.
mom was visiting me last year for 4 months, and it was the best 4 months. Because I would come home and the laundry was folded and in the bag ready to go.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Bloom Aesthetic Studio. We were partners. We actually dissolved in February of this year. As I said, around 3 years we were together. I took over the lease and the space where I'm at now. It was the same space where we moved as Bloom Aesthetic Studio. And now I'm Studio Rebloom. So I wanted to stay close to Bloom because I do attach a personal meaning to it. And Rebloom just sounded like
I'm just
that's
renewed
exactly what we're doing.
Reinvented, and we're back.
Yeah.
You didn't have to change the name too much.
Yes, I did have to pay all the new licensing.
Yeah.
But Rebloom also feels even more fitting because I do feel like a lot of us, especially us women, tend to think about our 20s or maybe early 30s as like the part when we were like, we really bloomed, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us forget that that doesn't have to be our peak. It's not it's not going downward after that. So rebloom feels even more fitting. That with me there, you can rebloom.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that tagline. So, and at Studio Rebloom, you are you still doing permanent makeup services and offering your Korean skincare?
Yes. So I actually work a good 4 or 5 days a week, completely booked. And then I have 2 estheticians. They do facials. They do Korean facials. One of them does body waxing, body wraps, and I have some.
Sorry, I know there is something flying, and I'm like, I see it.
It's Florida. And now I have a massage therapist too.
Nice.
Yeah. I have also recently rented a room to a colleague that is a permanent makeup artist and a traditional body tattoo artist.
Nice.
Wow.
So it's such a great mix, actually. It feels like a spa, but we have so many just people that would go into a tattoo studio also. Her room is a little funkier. A lot of my older clients that have been wanting a tattoo all their life have gotten one now because they always, it was like, oh, I could never go into a tattoo studio, but here I feel comfortable. So people surprise you really when you give them a chance. So I also love the blend of kind of things that you would think don't really go because it is a very mellow, I try to make a very zen and relaxing atmosphere at Rebloom.
Okay.
And we are starting to host workshops for mental health, for other things like tea blending, to make your own tea blends, and just make it more of like a community space, a space where you would spend more time, not just to come get a treatment. That's a plan also for Rebloom in the future. And of course, education for other estheticians.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you are transitioning into the education world and the community and networking world. And I like that you have just a little melting pot of different services that you can actually come and receive. And let me go next door and get a tattoo after my facial, why not? So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I always say we're not a med spa. I'm not trying to be a med spa. I had clients that would be like, oh, are you going to get a laser? Are you going to get... No, I love to collaborate with med spas. I have people where I'm going to send my clients to, but what I'm striving for is really a corrective skincare that doesn't involve a lot of machines, and totally possible and doable.
Absolutely.
So like a nice blend and balance between relaxing and corrective, where you do feel like kind of a connection between your soul and your outside. My shirt says connect, exhale, rebloom. And I feel like that's what happens. We connect, we relax, I do my work, or we do our work, and they rebloom.
Oh, I love it.
That is cute. Yeah. So how do you stay on top of skincare trends, especially with the evolving K-beauty industry? When clients come in and they say, I want glass skin. What is your typical response to a client and you just staying on top of?
So first, clients really think that I have to do 15 things at home every night and 27 in the morning to have perfect skin or glass skin. They think that's the answer because that's what's been sold to us. And that's actually not a Korean thing at all. They don't use more products than we do. Actually, the survey from last year, Korean women use between 2 and 4 products.
Wow.
So even less than most of us estheticians.
They just sell 20 products because they know that that's what we're used to.
And it's actually that whole 11-step routine was sold by American Korean woman. It's not a Korean thing. She made a book. It's called Soko Glam, her brand, in 2014, where she laid out the 11-step routine and kind of insinuated that it's rooted in Korean tradition. Later on, admitted that it's not. It was just a way to sell a lot more product.
Yeah,
and that is comes from, because if you look at a Korean line, there is a lot. There's not just a cleanser, toner, serum, cream. They have an essence. They have ampules. They have emulsions, they have oils, creams. There is a lot more, and pretty much every brand has that many. So you would think, oh my gosh, I have to layer all of this on. The point is having enough diversity to choose, because not every skin is going to like a cream. It's going to more like emulsion, which is kind of like a lighter lotion. And then every skin is going to like ampule, which is like a serum on steroids, like a stronger serum. Other skin is maybe going to like a serum. So it's really about being completely intentional with what you're using and finding a product that works the best for you.
And what your skin needs.
Yeah. So you don't have to layer it all. You can try all of it and then figure out, or have an esthetician guide you. But it's not about putting it all. How I stay on top, well, it does help that I have ADHD. So I go into rabbit holes. And then while my husband is already snoring, I feel like a lot of us here, we're like, I read a lot. And again, it's really good to be inside of communities where your interests are. Not just Facebook. One of my main distributors, Aesthetics, she has her own community website, Solo Edit. And as much as they are, of course, distributing their own products, there's always talk about what's their new, what can be done with what. There's a lot of talk about ingredients, and ingredients are universal from brand to brand. You know, you're going to find similar ingredients in different brands. So definitely looking at like blogs online, Facebook groups, reaching out to distributors that I'm using. And a lot of people have the same questions as me, you know. So even if you Google certain thing that you're interested in and you don't know enough, there's going to be like blog posts and conversations. And so, yeah, really just curiosity, staying on top. I do not go on social media for it, to be honest, because you never know, like, kind of, everybody's trying to have an opinion on Instagram or Facebook, right?
Yeah.
A very strong opinion. I want facts, and then I'll make my own opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and would you say that's what has now led you into wanting to educate about Korean skincare?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, because again, I felt that gap when I started, and it took me so many years to figure out what brand I want to use, how I want to set up my facials, what protocols or what treatment I should reach for pigmentation, or what I should do, because it is a little bit of a reset if you're coming from a Western skincare. The approaches are a little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is some hands-on trainings out there, but some are a little bit too expensive. Some are really, most of the time, they're connected to a brand. And Korean skincare training for professionals that I am going to do in November at my spa, I am hosting Sarah Kinsler-Holloway from Aesthetics, and she's one of the main distributors that I use. And of course, we're going to base it on the brands that she's distributing, that I'm using majority of it in my spa, but we're also going to talk about ingredients a lot. We're going to talk about how you are going to incorporate all of these, how you're going to market yourself. Why is Korean skincare so good for building loyal clients? Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest things. My booking return rate, and I pulled these numbers at the end of the year for 2024, was 87%.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. And I had no clue. I just kind of knew, like, and then I thought, okay, I do have a lot of clients that come back from month to month, but I really think Korean skincare has a lot to do with it. Beside of other things that I will talk in the class about, because it doesn't come by chance. It actually happens by a system. But Korean skincare is just very nice to experience.
Yeah. It's different, you know, and I think people like to.
It's also longer treatments, so you get to relax.
So talk a little bit about how the protocol is different in Korean skincare versus your average Western skincare line.
So most of the time it is a little bit of a different, longer treatment. I very rarely do 60-minute facials. We do have a standard clinical facial that is 60 minutes, but I always feel like it's not enough. So most of my regulars are on 90 minutes. They see me once a month, 90 minutes. It just involves a little bit more steps, like there is almost always infusion. That's a huge part. They call it also skin boosters. There's little ampules that are, as I said, like serums that are much stronger or more concentrated. And there's different ways of infusing. Most of us use nano needling, which is very accessible, but then we have different kinds of machines also for infusing. One is the leaf that I brought at the other event. It's all about getting that product to enter deeper into the skin without making trauma on the surface.
Okay.
Because our serums are not going to do as much if you just apply it on the surface, right? Our skin is made to be waterproof, versus if we help it to push it deeper into that basal cell layer where we can actually do something, right? Help our skin produce more skin cells. So that part is a bit long, makes it a little bit longer. I love to finish a facial with LED. So it's always, it's kind of like a cherry on top, right?
Yeah.
It's a longer treatment because there is more steps. I quite often do a double exfoliation, as I mentioned, because I can. Nothing is going to be too strong that I can't do it. So it's more steps of
being intentional
and nourishing the skin, and yes, definitely being intentional.
Okay.
Would you say that they hold longer lasting results, and that might also be why your clients keep coming back, because they don't just hold the glow for the day of the facial, right? It's more of a long term.
So coming every month, they definitely see results throughout the whole month, but they also I have a lot of clients that can't afford downtime. They have busy lives with their kids. They are running their businesses. A lot of them have teen kids. So, they're like taxi drivers, for the sports and everything. And they just can't stay home for a week.
I get it.
So I think that's also what keeps my clients very loyal. They understand, and they know that if they don't see me for a little bit longer, like 2-3 months, they're like, oh my gosh,
I see a difference in my skin.
I need to come back.
But I think that, to be honest with you, I think that goes to say that you're just a good esthetician overall, right? Because you can, no, seriously, because you can use Korean skincare, you can use Western skincare, and you can still have that same response with clients and people in general, because it is all about what you know and being intentional with doing those facials and what you're putting on the client's skin. Because I can kind of relate to that with that client retention and people kind of coming back because they've seen results and their glow lasts a little bit longer. Because I do also do like oxygen infusion because that makes such a difference than just applying serum in the skin. So I definitely understand 100% what you mean about like your clients. I got to get back in there. It's time for a facial because I'm noticing a difference if they go too long without getting one. So yeah,
for sure.
And appreciating that you have different options to cater to the clients and whatever they need or whatever suits their lifestyle and budget.
I have way too many options.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not a bad thing though. It's not a bad thing because
I've had colleagues that will look in my cabinet and be like, oh, like almost get a little like, what do I use? But then again, and I hope to be able to educate this at my class, once you know, same like mixology and bartending, you know what your juices are, you know what your alcohols are, right? You know what, so once you know what is where and you really understand what a facial is or what you're trying to achieve in a facial, right? That you're exfoliating, you're stimulating circulation, and you're feeding and nourishing the skin. So each of those products have a spot in those parts of the facial, right? The stimulation, the nourishing, the exfoliating. I love our little toys.
No, for sure. Like, I feel like you gave us a lot of good information about Korean skincare. So tell us what's next for Studio Rebloom. Like, what are your goals? Where do you see your business going in the next few years, the coming year? Like, what is something that you hope to explore?
So I do feel like it's kind of funny that I've been in this for so long, but I feel like I'm like a toddler right now in Studio Rebloom because I just started that business in February of this year. Definitely taking over the whole spa and managing everything by myself has been a lot, while also seeing clients 5 days a week. So really everything I'm doing right now is kind of like new. I just introduced a massage therapist. I am still continuously training my 2 estheticians. And as I said, kind of more building and refining the brand. We did a couple of workshops, but I would love to do a lot more. We are already planning like a big open house and a market for beginning of December. So like right before holiday season, where I'm going to have a couple of workshops and a bunch of vendors, and hope to see you ladies there.
Yes. Let us know the
We have a
dates.
food truck already booked, and just going to do like an open house. My spa is in a little craftsman house that is from 1926.
Oh, wow.
But ladies, it's so well taken care of. Like it feels really homey. So what's next for Rebloom? I want it to become, of course, I want to see it busy. I want my estheticians to get as busy as I am, so I can step away a little bit, work more on the business. I have so many ideas. My brain dump notes are long, and I want to go at the beginning and start acting upon certain things that I want to do, because again, it's really hard being an esthetician and a business owner and an entrepreneur, or as some of the business books say, we are operators, managers, and entrepreneurs, and that leads to burnout.
It does.
So that's what I'm striving to achieve throughout this year and beginning of next one, where I can give some of those hats to other people. And I hope to also have people around me in my spa, which I do right now, but even more that love coming to work. I love coming to work. I have kids, and my work is just peaceful oasis. And I think that's what my clients feel too. There has to be like a connection between people I work and just that we all are enjoying.
Right.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
So for those estheticians that are interested in taking your Korean skincare class, tell us a little bit more about when the date is. It will be located at Studio Rebloom, correct?
So it's going to be on November 9th and 10th. I'm hosting Sarah Kinsler Holloway from Aesthetics. And I know a lot of you guys actually know about her. In the past couple of years, she has done an amazing job in building a great Facebook community. As I said, they also have their own community website now. She has built a whole catalog with protocols. So that's why I chose her, and that's why I love the amount of support she gives is amazing, a lot more than a lot other distributors. So November 9th and 10th, it's 2 days. First day, Sarah will go over Korean K-beauty philosophy, how it differs from Western philosophy. She's going to do a couple of live demos. We're going to have time to chat with her and ask her, because there's just so much to learn. And we will go over some of the ingredients with her. On day 2, I'm going to do a little deeper dive throughout the catalog and just kind of go over all the ingredients. And then I am also going to teach about my return, like how I got to have 87% rebooking, and a system that I've built that on. And everybody's going to have a chance to do a hands-on, because as I said, I think that's a huge part.
Oh, yeah.
Not just performing a treatment, but also feeling. A lot of these protocols are kind of new. They're not just standard chemical peels. So it's really, really going to be good to feel it on your skin also.
Yeah.
It is going to be at Studio Rebloom. We're keeping it small because I also love intimate learning. I love going to a good expo, but I think if you're investing investing into a class, it should be somewhere where you can call and have one-on-one.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And after we finish the class for 2 days, of course, you will have access to the whole community where Sarah is very active, and she has a couple of educators in her groups. And of course, you're going to have access to me to have any kind of questions. We will probably also set up dates after that where if you want to come in and brainstorm, another little where you guys could come and do a vlog also. Yeah. So because building community, right?
Yeah.
We can't do it all on our own.
Right. No, for sure. Yeah. So I do have one last final question for you. If you had to give a piece of advice to any esthetician wanting to get into Korean skincare, and what advice would you give them?
Korean skincare?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, that's good. Yes. Just straight to the point. Go for it.
I think, my approach has always been to everything. I like to play first and then learn from there. I know sometimes some personalities prefer to feel like we sometimes search for, I feel like I need to know everything. Mm-hmm. You're never going to know everything. Right. Life is learning, right? And I feel like order a couple products, try them, you'll fall in love, and then come to my class because it will speed up the learning. Yeah. It took me 3 years until I felt like, oh my gosh, I can actually switch completely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't switch completely until 2020, late 2020, I think. So 3 years. And if you take a good class, you can speed that up and feel more comfortable with all the products, new ingredients and everything to be able to move into that niche. Korean skincare as a niche for solo estheticians is, I think, fantastic. It makes you stand out. You don't have a need for big investments, for big machines. You can achieve great results without trying to chase constantly and invest in new machines. Mm-hmm. I think definitely get your hands on a couple of Korean skincare products.
Okay. Or book a facial with Marina.
Exactly.
And then you'll get to experience it from the expert herself.
Exactly. Yeah. Before you invest,
Yes.
So,
yes.
Oh my gosh, Marina, I feel like I learned so much about just Korean skincare, about you, about your business. And you can truly see that you're passionate behind the passion behind what you're doing, and that you're really investing into your brand, your business, your clients, and I just wish you all of the luck, girl. I think you're going to be amazing. I think you're going to do great things, and let us know when that event is so we can put it on our calendars.
Yes, yes. And your class, share your class dates, location, where they can buy their tickets and register so we can share that with our community. We can also link it below the video in the Cliffnotes so you can get in touch with Marina if you want to book a facial or sign up for her class. She is your go-to girl in Orlando for your Korean skincare.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
No, thank you for being here.
And always supporting the SD Collaborative.
Yes. Right.
Everything we do, you did amazing at CollabCon. So I'm really excited for
Thank you guys
to...
for giving me that opportunity because I was scared.
Yeah.
That was my first time.
Engagement.
Yes.
No, just a stepping stone into what's in store for you.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies.
Aww. All right. That wraps up this episode with Marina from Studio Rebloom. Thank you guys for joining us. And if you want to learn more about Korean skincare, make sure you reach out to your girl, Marina.
Yeah, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.